Welcome back. It has been a year. I have not posted a lot because a lot has happened since. I've been posting a lot of pictures of the Supra on Instagram, but I haven't been making videos of it because by the time I got it, it was late September, early October, and we get snow here. So I pretty much had to put it away for storage for the winter, and I did not have a lot of time to film anything for it. But the car is out now, it is summertime, and I have a lot more filming to do. Run modified Supras. I don't deal with modified Supras. I want it clean, I want it original, I wanted a time capsule. A black Mazda RX-7 FD, 93 I believe. And talking with him, the car was great, it was all original, it's everything I wanted. I didn't pull the trigger. I should have, but I didn't. And he ended up selling the car to someone else. And I was pretty bummed out about that for a few days. So I didn't check on my searches, I just took a break from the car hunt. And of course, it's the days that you're not looking that it comes up. In my hometown, in my province, a silver 94 Toyota Supra twin turbo manual, all original, comes up for sale. I message and I think, you know what, on the off chance he gets a million messages, I'll call him. So it's been 2 days already that this Supra's been listed for sale. So I call up the guy and I ask him, hey, is the Supra still for sale? And he goes, no, the car's gone. And I was, first world problems, but I was gutted because the stars align, all this time, all this energy searching, and one shows up right in my backyard and I miss it. I was in such a bad mood for, 3-4 days, inconsolable. And I was beating up myself. It was awful. And I just thought, this was it. This was the one. Just the stars aligned. Everything was right. I get a call on about the 4th day, and it's the guy, the seller, and he goes, hey, my buyer backed out. You're the only one else who called me. Everyone else messaged me. So he's like, are you interested? And I go, I can't let this go by. So I'm like, name it. I'm like, let's meet tomorrow morning. Let's meet tonight. It's pretty late. It was like 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, all right, let's meet tomorrow morning. So he calls me out. This is a weird part of the story. So he calls me out. I go to this gas station 45 minutes out of town, in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, this is where people get murdered and abducted. And so I'm starting to get really sketched out by this. And a guy pulls up in his trailer. So I walk a car trailer, and so I pull over to him. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is real. He's legit. It's in the trailer. All right. And then the guy goes, how do I operate the pumps? And I'm like, are you Mr. X? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? And it was just a random person. I thought this was the guy who had my car. And I'm like, obviously this person's screwing with me. So I'm like, ha ha ha. And he's like, no, seriously, how do I operate the pumps? I don't. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so it was a card lock. So I tell him how to do that. And then he goes and leaves. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And he pulls up. 94 Supra twin turbo. And I'm like, okay, this is it. This is real. And so we talk about it for a bit. I'm sort of like, hey, so what's the history behind the car? We're talking about, car's history and all these sorts of things. And then, of course, the big question on everyone's mind, why are you selling it? And he goes, I've owned it since 2003, and it's been a great car, and he loves it. He's just looking for the next step. And I'm like, all right, R34, what is the next step? And he goes, I want to get an NSX. And I'm like, okay, I can respect that. That's a solid reason for wanting to sell this car, to upgrade to an NSX. I think it's a bit of a downgrade. It just comes down to personal style. I would love an NSX someday. I think it's great. I'd love a new one. I'd love an older one. My friend Donovan has one. He loves them. There's something special because I grew up with those Fast and Furious movies. I'm like, what did you do with this thing? He goes, he bought it in 2003, and it had 101,000 kilometers on it. Jump to 2021. He put 5,000 kilometers on it. Almost 20 years. He's driven to 5,000 kilometers. 200 kilometers a year, give or take. We go, and he goes, do you want to take it for a drive? And I'm like, of course I want to take it for a drive. But I don't tell him that, so he takes it down the road. We go down the road, he drives it. And then he goes, do you want to drive it if you're interested? And I go, yeah, I'm interested. And so I go and I drive it. And I don't know what to expect. I've never driven a Supra. I don't know how they handle. I don't know any of this stuff. Now it's negotiation time. And this is the hard part. How do you negotiate with someone who knows exactly what they have, knows the market value of what they have, And he came out at X price. He looks at me and he's like, hey, I've been getting, it's a great price. He's going, I've been getting calls off the hook. Like, I know I can get more for this. What's your offer? And this was the toughest negotiation I've ever had to do. It was incredibly difficult. And I had never done this before. I had no tips for this. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go the honesty route. I'm going to be completely 100% honest with him about it. So I said, look, if you sell me your car, if you sell someone else your car, you're never going to know where it is. It's going to change hands. They're going to modify the hell out of it. They're going to turn it into a drift car. They're going to gut it. They're going to do, whatever, put 1,000 horsepower in it. You're never going to see it again. You're never going to know whose good hands it's in. You're letting a pristine car go out in the wild. And I said, if you sell it to me, I said, look, I can't, I'm not going to get into a bidding war. I straight up with him. I'm like, you know what the car is worth. You know what you can get for it. I know what the cars should be worth. And the price that you listed it for is what I want to pay for it. And I said, look, I'm not going to get into a bidding war with you. If you want to go and sell it to someone else and make some more money, if money is what you're after for this car, then go do it. List it on Bring a Trailer, go pick up someone else, get your money for it, and whatever happens to it, happens to it. But if you sell it to me, I will say this right now, the car is staying in the home in town here. The car is staying original with me. I don't modify my cars, as you've seen from the S14. I don't modify them. It's going to stay original. It's going to be well looked after. I'm going to get, rims redone. Everything's just going to get looking beautiful. I think that's what kind of won him over, is knowing that it would be local, because he doesn't want to sell to people local, and that it was going to stay original and not get drifted and destroyed and gutted and all that stuff, because this car's pristine. This car's original. This car came off the showroom in '94. I've done all that I can. My budget is what it is. I'm not going to get into the bidding war of paying more and who offers what. So I'm just saying that I'm trying to gauge his reaction of what he's thinking. And he just sort of looks at me and he goes, okay. He says, yeah, let's do it for that price. He said, he says, you seem like a good kid, and I'm happy it's going to stay original and not get drifted and raced and destroyed and modified and all that stuff. I asked him, I said, out of curiosity, because we didn't do this, I said, did you ever find a business card in your trunk? He goes, yeah. How did you know? And I said, I put it in there. Jump back about 4 or 5 weeks, about a month ago, before all of this happened. Friend Preston and I were going through the car lots, as we always do. We just get coffee, hang out, go to the car lots. Toyota customer service parking lot is the '94 Supra. This one, I didn't know it at the time. And I'm thinking, I look inside, I'm like, this car's rich, manual, twin turbo, original. I'm like, this is it. This is the car that I want. And Preston's like, I've never seen it around town. I'm like, I've not seen it either. Everyone, it's a small town. Everyone knows everyone here. I'm like, if I put the card on the windshield wiper, techs are just gonna throw it away. If I put it anywhere, the service people, they're like, we can't have random people coming up putting their business cards on our customer cards to throw it away. I'm like, oh, gotta slide it in the trunk. And the off chance he opens the trunk, maybe he'll call me. So I write on the card, hey, if your car's for sale, please give me a call. Even if it's not, I just want to talk. Please, thank you. Your car's awesome. So we did that, and I'm like, man, that's such a cool car. Fast forward a month, I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, so was your car there? He says, yeah, I was getting the transmission replaced. I found this car. I didn't know whose it was, so I threw it away. And I'm like, that was my car. That's my card. I wanted to call you about this car because it was so cool. So that was kind of neat. So it felt like things really did come full circle. I've been looking for this. I mean, you're always out there looking, and the good cars go fast. I mean, I will say this. Your good car will go in a day or two. That's it. 1 or 2 days, you're not paying attention, it's gone. I was hustling every day, doing the searches, browsing the classified ads, Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, Auto Trader, all that stuff. But it was the few days I was so upset at losing the one car that I lost focus. And this car came up for sale. And I bought the car, stored it for winter, and I'm now just getting stuff done on it. But that is the story of how I managed to find a 1994 twin turbo Supra 2JZ. I'll never call it 2JZ. It's always 2JZ. My 94 Supra. That's how I got my 94 Supra. And it's Canadian, it's left-hand drive, it's manual, it is everything you want it to be. It's a time capsule. Nothing I mean, it's got cloth seats, not leather, which I don't mind because leather's hotter in the summer and cloth seats are cooler. That's how I got my car. So if you have any questions about, I don't know, Supras or anything, or hunting for them or stuff like that, or you want to share your stories of your car, put them in the comments. And I don't know, let me know what your thoughts are on that. But thank you for tuning in and watching this video, and I will post more videos on what the Supra is, what my plans for it are. If you have any comments, list them down below. Yeah, we're back, and I appreciate any of you guys that have stuck with me, and the support is always great. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a great car summer. Check you guys later.